Hey everybody, this is Extreme Travesty. Welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. In the last episode, we completed our investigation of the unknown victim, and Kyoko has yet to be found. We found out some interesting things, and about Mukuro Ikusaba as well. Can we uncover this mystery? Let's find out. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you?
Huh?
What, are you jealous?
Hey!
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or... Or what? Jesus! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words...
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we?
Huh?
What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey.
I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko? You're still alive? No, that's a ghost! Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty, officially. But I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of ya. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right. Now we've got to deal with a ghost. I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me! Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But...
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So...
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However,
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Another truth bullet.
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. Class trial is important to everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the door slid shut. This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes, but it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills! Chills! Kills!
Let's get on with the show. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. Deadly judgment, deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Oh boy, fun time. So I've been not doing anything for the past couple of weeks because I had the 2 weeks already recorded. But let's take a look at these truth bullets. File. Due to explosion, victim's identity is unknown, so we still don't know who. Also been struck in the head with. Victim stabbed a single time with the knife which went completely through the body. They also been struck with the head of the object, thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Explosion was burnt the upper half of the body beyond recognition. It's wet because of the being extinguished. The body was wearing notably long fake nails, and there's a tattoo of a dog on the back of the right hand. Bits of charred debris near the body. Should be noted that the bomb which had been removed from Monokuma in the gym had disappeared. Sprinklers are programmed for 7:30. It's impossible to change. As such, it can be assumed that the body had been in guarded before 7:30. It would have gotten wet. When the body was found, Makoto wakes up at 7. Makoto and Aoi arrive in the hall. Makoto meets the others in the gym at 7:30 to 9. 9, Toko's told to find a pickaxe in the garden where she discovered his body. Knife. It's the same knife that Makoto was given. Tarp. This one side's wet and filthy, the other's clean and dry. Chickens have decreased from 5 to 4. Byakuya stated there was no corpse in the garden just after nighttime last night. He also said that Hiro, Toko, and Aoi were in the gym the entire night. None of them were alone at any point. So alibis. Before the explosion, mask covering the head, white jacket, knife with bloodstains around the wound. Blood was still wet, noted there was no blood on the ground. Mukuro Ikusaba's personal profile. Apparently every member of Fenrir gets a tattoo. Monokuma's account, this game began with 16 people, all students. Mukuro Ikusaba is assumed as the 16th. Kyoko wears gloves to hide something nobody wants to see. She doesn't want anyone to see. Wood block key to the locker in the dojo. Titanium arrows and bloody duct tape. And Kyoko's latest account. Okay, I think We can do this. I'm pretty sure I don't have new skills, so let's just go.
Let's begin with a if you can then I'll Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Why do we have to do this? She's alive. She's right there.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her.
I got
Her
it!
gloves.
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... Alright. Now to prove that it's not Kyoko because of the gloves. Yeah, I got it.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
The fake nails give it away.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
He has a point.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Okay.
If Kyoko really is still
Oh,
alive,
shit.
then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition,
Well, yeah.
and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Got it!
No, it's wrong.
I didn't want to go for the white noise, so I just went around it.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear.
I got it!
Mukuro Ikusaba.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... It's so easy. Now where's that F? That was the easiest one.
Now I understand.
That took me like 11 seconds or something.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What? Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Hold on a second. I've been building up that sneeze for a little bit. Needed to wait for a time to stop the chat.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. Makoto and Kyoko.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma.
Oops.
The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it! Can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered? 9 o'clock.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
I saw the 9.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay then, looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. Got it.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
Oops.
and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's
Oh, I
more
missed.
than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
The incident took place in the garden, right? I remember there's something that happens there every morning at a certain time. Yeah, I know, I had it, I just missed.
We've established a time for it took place somewhere between 9 o'clock. Yep. And
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Wait, that was it?
Shoot!
Wait a second.
We've established a time frame for the
Oh,
murder.
wait a minute, I got it now.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock.
It was the first one, I remember. The sprinklers went off at 7:30, so 10 o'clock had to be the one where it was a lie.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
You're the indecent one.
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence and that should do it. Ah, damn it. Alright, let's get into it, Toko.
I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me?
Okay, what's the one I need?
How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
That's not it! That! Oh, I got hit. Alright.
I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing.
Okay, it was probably the first one.
How can you say it?
This should prove it.
There we go. First time I screwed up something like that. Jeez, I forgot what it was. I don't know why.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Having a brain melt.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh? We're gonna find out what she means by that in the next episode. Kyoko is the only one left without an alibi, but she has something she wants to retort. See you guys next time.